It's the end of April. Well, a lot has happened this month. Let's moan about it. Well, April is nearly over. And what a month. What a month. The George Floyd murder trial. Boris Johnson and Dominic Cummings. Prince Philip. And the Iranians are at it again. So let's get right in to this moan. April 2021 started off quite quietly. Then on the 9th, this happened.
We are interrupting our normal programmes to bring you an important announcement. You're watching BBC News from London. A short while ago, Buckingham Palace announced the death of His Royal Highness Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. In a statement, the Palace said, "It is with deep sorrow that Her Majesty the Queen announces the death of her beloved husband, His Royal Highness, the Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. His Royal Highness passed away peacefully this morning at Windsor Castle. Further announcements will be made in due course. The royal family join with people around the world in mourning his loss." BBC Television is broadcasting this special programme reporting the death of the Duke of Edinburgh.
So Prince Philip was dead, and the BBC went full on crazy. BBC One, BBC Two, the news channel. Rolling coverage all bloody day about Prince Philip, basically rerunning the same programmes over and over again, so you can get a full look at Prince Philip. ITV did a rolling show for most of the afternoon, but they did at least switch back to their programming afterwards. Channel 5 did a programme, they switched back eventually. Channel 4 did a little programme and they switched back. But the BBC, oh no, the BBC went full on all day, right through. They took BBC 4 off the air. Obviously they don't want you to know anything else. God, it was a Friday, it was absolutely horrible. And BBC, rightly, massive complaints. I mean, because not everybody in Britain, you know, is some monarchist loyalists. You know, we don't all there go, oh, the monarchy isn't it wonderful? No, we're not like that in this country. There's a great big chunk of people who couldn't give two fucking hoots about the bloody monarchy, and go, oh, Prince Philip, he's dead. Oh well. Now, do not canonise Prince Philip. He was not a saint. You would think he was a saint from where they were going. Yes, he was an honourable man. He put duty first. He was loyal to the Queen. They were married for fucking God knows how long. 1947 they got married, so they've been married for a long, long time. But do not say he was some sort of fucking saint, because although he did the Duke of Edinburgh award scheme, that was very good, he was also an epic racist as well. When you sit there in Australia asking the Aborigines if they still throw spears at one another, and also when in China talking to some English students saying don't be here too long or you'll end up with slitty eyes, yeah, you were right, he was a fucking racist. So, yeah, he was racist, could be prickly as fuck, hated the press, didn't like them one iota, would be very shifty with the press, and basically, if you said something stupid, he would give you a short shrift about it. But, you know, hey, Phil, you did it yourself. You used to very often open your mouth before putting your brain in gear. That was you. But I think the most poignant thing, though, as the funeral took place, was that it was held under COVID rules, which was, you know, give due to the royal family. At least you only have 30 mourners there. You follow the procedures. Of course, most funerals don't have gigantic bands and fucking army blokes all over the show while you're having the funeral. This one did. And you don't have a fucking big castle to parade around in. But it was done mainly for TV. Psychodrama of Wills and Harry, you know. Fuck off, don't want to know. The most poignant thing at the end, I think, was in the funeral itself, where the Queen was sat there alone. And that mirrors what's happened to thousands and thousands of families during this pandemic, where they've had to be socially distanced, and you've had the family of the deceased there sitting alone, unable to comfort them one another, because, hey, you can't get too close. And I think that was the thing we noticed the most from this, that the Queen was there alone. And it made me think recently with the revelations about Boris Johnson and what he said in the autumn, that how many more families did he want to have to put up with that, in the way that he said what he said, that he would let the bodies pile up in their thousands to stop a lockdown. Let's talk about that next. Let's talk about that. And remember that families had to do what the Queen did and sit alone while her loved one was set to rest. You remember Dominic Cummings? He who went to Barnard Castle to test his eyesight. Yeah, Dominic Cummings. Well, it seems that Dominic Cummings has decided to chuck Boris Johnson under the bus. Hopefully it'll be a bus with £350 million to the NHS written on the side of it. But, yeah, he's throwing Boris Johnson right under the bus. Now, Boris Johnson brought this onto himself, in many respects, because they were trying to blame Dominic Cummings for certain leaks that had taken place, and Dominic Cummings didn't quite like that. So, as Dominic Cummings knows where the bodies are buried, he's decided to dig a few of them up and serve them just at the right time. So the first one, of course, was the one we heard first, the thousands of bodies, where Boris Johnson was saying they would let thousands of bodies pile high in the streets rather than go into another lockdown. Basically, thousands of you bastards can die as long as the footsie has a few points. Really? You would rather kill thousands of people? Bastard. Told you he's got no scruples. And the other one, his flat. Oh my God, Lord. Oh, Lord. The flat. Now, somebody came on the radio this morning saying, oh, well, flats are so expensive in London and all this. Fuck off. We're not talking about him renovating the fucking flat that way. He wasn't doing building work on it, you absolute spoon. He was actually decorating it and putting new furnishing in. And because the furnishing in it was from John Lewis and it was a bit tat, he wanted something better. Have you seen the price of John Lewis furniture? Fuck me. That's tat. Holy shit. Oh my God. What do you think of the crap I've got in this house? Okay. £4,200 for a fucking mirror. Holy shit. If I had a £4,000 mirror, I'd want it to show a picture of a fantastic Adonis sat there rather than me. Sardine hell. Oh my God, what does it do? Do plastic surgery on you while you're standing there? Ah. Holy hell. So, you get £30,000 from the taxpayer to renovate and redecorate your flat, because you're not going to be there for that long, because you're the Prime Minister, so you might be only in there for a couple of years, you know, Theresa May. But you get £30,000. It's more than enough. Well, obviously for Boris, this wasn't. So add another £58,000 onto this. £58,000. Where did he get the £58,000 from? And this is where the problem is. You'll see, Boris Johnson is claiming that it's his own money. But others are claiming, Dominic Cummings is one of them, that the money came from donations. Well, if they did come from donations, they weren't declared. And that is the main problem. You've broken the ministerial code if you have not declared that you've been given large amounts of cash. No matter what it's for. If it was to buy a bloody chihuahua, you still got to put down. You can have conflicts of interest. It's got to be known. And then we find out that, yeah, there's going to be an inquiry to it. An independent inquiry, but Boris Johnson gets the last say. What the fuck? This is absolutely ludicrous. Let's put go back. Priti Patel, you remember her? She was in trouble for bullying. And an independent inquiry, led by a top civil servant, said, yeah, she had broken the ministerial code. It went to Boris Johnson. He said, no, I don't believe in it. Ripped it up, threw it in the bin. And she stayed. That civil servant resigned. He said, well, if I'm going to do this inquiry, I'm going to put my neck there on the block and suddenly go through everything. And then you just turn around and say, nah, I'm throwing the bin. What are we here for? Fuck you, I'm off. Same thing's going to happen again. Boris Johnson is going to basically have the final say over Boris Johnson. It's like a murderer being the judge of his own trial and the jury of his own trial, and basically going, yeah, I'm not guilty. He could have slayed 50 people outside with a knife, been seen by everybody, but he's a not guilty verdict because obviously that's what he thinks. And it's the same with Boris Johnson. He will just basically ignore it. There's nothing gonna happen to him. It's nuts. How can you run a system of government where if the Prime Minister does something wrong, it's the Prime Minister who has the final say over what happens to him? No. Doesn't work that way, does it? Yes, it does actually in this country. Only in the UK. Only in the UK could you do that. So, nothing can be done. I don't think Boris Johnson is going to fall on his sword. I mean, he has done numerous things wrong, but hey, I'm Boris Johnson. I can do what the hell I like. Nobody gives a shit. And that's where we are, unfortunately.
Members of the jury, I will now read the verdicts as they will appear in the permanent records of the 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota, County of Hennepin, District Court, 4th Judicial District. State of Minnesota Plaintiff versus Derek Michael Chauvin, Defendant. Verdict, Count 1. Court File Number 27, CR 20-12646. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to Count 1, unintentional second-degree murder while committing a felony, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:44 p.m. Signed, Juror Foreperson, Juror Number 19. Same caption, verdict Count 2. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to Count 2, third-degree murder, perpetrating an eminently dangerous act, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Signed by Jury Foreperson, Juror Number 19. Same caption, verdict Count 3. We, the jury, in the above entitled matter as to Count 3, second-degree manslaughter, culpable negligence, creating an unreasonable risk, find the defendant guilty. This verdict agreed to this 20th day of April 2021 at 1:45 p.m. Jury Foreperson 019. Members of the jury, I'm now going to...
Derek Chauvin has been convicted of murder. Got convicted of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and manslaughter. He's going to go to prison. I don't think he'll last long there. The right wing in America went apoplectic afterwards, and the copium was absolutely unbelievable. They came up with all sorts of things saying, yeah, he shouldn't have been charged, this guy died from a drugs overdose, blah, 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 blah. No. The autopsy said he died from compression of the neck. He did not die from a drug overdose. So, fuck off, you fucking racist scumbags. We've got a racist copper who's been put in prison, and it's good. But it's only the start, because quite frankly, the American police are inherently racist. And the amount of blacks and Latinos who are routinely shot by the police is insane. But it doesn't just happen in America, where the police are heavy-handed with blacks. But in America it's worse because, hey, they've got guns and they shoot them. But we have it in Britain as well. Stop and search. Black men are routinely stopped multiple times. Just going about their business, they will be stopped and searched. I know there's a lot of crime in London, there's a lot of black on black stabbings, but it does not mean that you go and stop every single black man you see. And it does. I have never, in my entire life, been stopped and searched by the police. I'm a white dude. Pale and pasty. Never got stopped. Black? Well, I probably would have been. But it doesn't just happen to guys walking around the street, but it happens in cars being stopped. And it happened to a British athlete, Bianca Williams. She was stopped, and her husband and baby, in a car. And they searched the car for drugs because it was a nice looking car. It was a nice looking car being driven by a black guy. Oh well, yeah, obviously, it's a nice car driven by a black guy, it must be in drugs. That's fucking ludicrous. Because if I tell you, if a white guy had been driving the same car, he would not have been stopped. But a black guy? Yeah, must be up to no good. Racism is inherent in both police forces in America and in the UK. It has to be seriously rooted out and removed. And if it means disbanding the police and rebuilding the police force, then so be it. The police force in America needs a root and branch reform. The UK police needs a root and branch reform. And the sooner the better, so that less blacks and Latinos end up dead. Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe. She had a 5-year sentence that she completed. Thanks to Boris Johnson, by the way, who, with his stupid opening mouth without putting his brain into gear, got the woman sent down completely. It was used in her trial. They've charged her with another crime and she's going to get another year in prison. And then won't be able to leave Iran for another year. This time, it's for some thing she did years ago in Britain that they said brought the country into disrepute or something. I was like, what the fuck? They're only doing this for one thing and one thing only, because the UK owes them £400 million. And they're using her as a bargaining chip. Well, let's put it this way, Iran. If you want to piss Britain off, and you want to piss the British people off, to a point where they really want to have your fucking blood, continue. Court of public opinion at the moment for Iran is, you're a bunch of bastards. If this is the way your religious leaders feel, then fuck them. I don't want anything to do with them. Release her to a family. It is the humane and decent thing to do, because what you're doing now is not humane, it is evil as fuck. And if you want everyone in this country to think, yeah, what a fucking bunch of bastards you are going the right way about it. Simple as that. Well, that's it for another moan, and it's been quite an epic month as April. What's happened? So, if you like what I do, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe and bye-bye.